Greetings. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. This is Queen Elle, and I'm from QueenElle79. I just wanted to pop in. As you can see, I'm in super chill mode this evening, just relaxing. It's the evening of April 1st, 2020, and I just wanted to pop in, and I felt led to talk about love. I feel like um, this pandemic, this time in our lives right now, that it is bringing out loving feelings, a lot of loving kindness and compassion for some. For others, it's bringing out, um, I would say, the less desirable qualities such as judgmental behavior and um, I'm not sure if it's jealousy. I just feel like there are those who are lacking the self confidence and allowing the stress that is on the outside, that external factor, letting it kind of permeate their psyche and their spirit and their sense of being. So, this is just a message to all the lovers out there. I really want us to embrace love and not fear, um, embrace a sense of community and connectivity with the collective um, rather than divisiveness because of us being away from each other physically. I feel like a lot of times you can be more connected to someone that you never have physical contact with than some of the people that you're in physical contact with on the regular. So it's just all about your perspective. So um, forgive the quality of the video today. Like I said, I'm in true like relax mode. I'm sitting on my couch just lounging, and I kind of was asking through my spirit, asking the ancestral realm for a message to give to you all this evening. And this is the message that I was given. Um, so that's basically it. I do, as I typically do, I like to use my tarot cards to assist, to add a bit of clarity, a bit of um, emphasis, and an additional layer, like the icing on the cake, to my messages. So I've already meditated some with my cards and shuffled them up really well. And I just, again, this is my Modern Witch tarot deck. So I'll link the video to the unboxing for that one there. But I just wanted to pull a few cards just to help to add a bit more depth to my message for this evening. This one, I know I've said this before and it wasn't too brief, but this one actually will be a brief video tonight. So I'm just going to pull a few cards. Excuse me. And as I've said before, um, what I've been doing, especially more often lately, is when I'm pulling cards, I don't go into it with those constraints of this is how many cards I will pull today, or this is the size of the deck, the spread that I will use for the deck today. I like to just allow my intuition to guide me and allow the spirit guides to let me know when to stop. So that's what I'm waiting for today is that definitive word for me to stop. Okay. So I am going to stop. What I've started doing is I'll look at the bottom of the deck to just give a bit of underlying intent with the cards that I pull. So the bottom of this deck right now is the King of Pentacles. So that's basically being a master over your craft, a master over your work, a master of your finances. So um, I believe that that's what the focus needs to be on. So instead of any type of negativity, instead of any type of bickering, any type of conflict, or um, I don't know, like an argumentative spirit. That's what I'm sensing. I'm seeing a lot of dissension on the internet, on social media, some of the Facebook groups that I'm in. I'm seeing a lot of cattiness, and I feel like in what could be a stressful situation, that it does have a tendency to sometimes bring out the worst in us. Sometimes it's a way for us to grow and to evolve and to connect to each other more. But sometimes, depending on the personality, depending on their level of growth and maturity, it can bring out the worst in them versus the best. So I think if we focused on our craft right now, we focused on those talents. I talked about for my daily pull today. If you check out my Instagram, it's Queen_Elle_79, or my Facebook, QueenElle79. The theme, and sorry, my laptop is shaking because I literally am just sitting here on my couch. Um, the theme was let your talents soar. And I think if we focus on those talents, and I think I said let your hidden talents soar. If we focus on those talents, we focus on our gifts, we focus on our craft right now during this time, we won't have time to engage in any type of bickering or negative commentary. That's just, I believe that that's how it should be all the time. But especially in times like this, where there's a high level of stress or the potential for a high level of stress, if you don't allow yourself to engage in that low vibrational activity, it will definitely serve you well. Okay, so with these cards, so the first being the Queen of Swords. Now, this one, so the Queen of Swords, when we think of the Queen, so she's powerful, um, she has a commanding presence. The Queen of Swords, though, it has a bit of coldness involved, because the Queen of Swords is a loner. She doesn't need anyone, or feels she doesn't need anyone. She doesn't need to depend on anyone else. She is all about um, kind of riding this wave alone. And so while she is um, mastering her craft in the sense of mastering her intellect, she feels the need to do it alone. And that's not necessarily the best thing. I mean, I'm someone who, I will be the first to say, I'm a self-proclaimed loner and not needing anyone. And in the sense of, um, I'm just used to being in situations where I've had to do things on my own. So then that creates an aura of not needing anyone or feeling like you don't. But that's not necessarily true. We can all benefit from some support in different ways, not necessarily financially, not necessarily physically, but we could all benefit from emotional support. Even the most standalone or independent person, we could just all benefit from it. I mean, it definitely wouldn't hurt, but we could all benefit from some sort of collaboration, some sort of sense of community. And I like to use the word collective. So there are so many benefits to tapping into your resources, meaning other people. This is a great time to really um, tap into self, though, as well, and your own intuition and your own spirit guides, your own ancestral realm. We all have that within us. We all have that at our fingertips. We have access to it. So definitely meditate and tap into that as well. But don't forget that there's a whole community of people out there, of like-minded people, um, who could collaborate with you, who you could bounce thoughts off of, and not necessarily because you need anything from them or they need something from you, but just to uplift each other and to motivate each other and encourage each other. That is always a benefit to everyone. So that's something to keep in mind. The next card, the Nine of Swords. So this one is um, it's an emotional card. So again, the swords are specific to um, mostly your intellect. However, the Nine of Swords, that's someone who has been through a lot. So, I mean, we're all going through a lot right now, but there are some people who were already going through certain things prior to this pandemic and self quarantine situation. So, this card is saying specifically, and that's where I was thinking about the theme of love today. That's what I'm feeling in my spirit right now that I wanted to talk to you about. Um, if this time, if you're dealing with a matter of the heart, whether it's feeling alone because of this situation, now, like there are people who talk about their families and talk about, you'll see the little videos online. Everybody's doing these little challenges and people talking about, just spending that time with family that they wouldn't normally have to spend because they'd be out and about and hustling and bustling. But um, there are people who don't have anyone at home. So I will tell you, if anyone is dealing with a matter of the heart or heartbreak, just know that this too really shall pass. Not just this situation, but your personal situation will pass. The things that you've been dealing with that you've kind of, not necessarily behind closed doors, but with others, you've been trying not to even bring it up because of everything else that's going on, or feeling alone in an emotional sense because you know that there are people sick and dying out there with this virus going on, but you know that deep down inside you're already dealing with some mess of your own, and that has nothing to do with the virus really. It's just that season in your life. Just know there are others, including myself, that have been there several times, truly, and it will be okay. Even in your darkest time, your darkest hour, when you feel like there's no sense of hope, that there's no getting over the situation, there's no sunshine, on the horizon, just know that um, it does get better. I'm not just saying that, it really does get better. Just know that the feelings that you feel right now, it's not really about getting over them. It's about getting through them. It's about feeling how you feel, allowing yourself, the room to feel how you feel, giving yourself the space to feel how you feel, and still love yourself enough to know that you will make it through this. So I just want to say that today. Just know that while you're working on yourself and feeling better about your current situation, um, know that it's for your good. Whatever you're feeling, that when you have tears, let them wash and cleanse you of the feelings that you feel. It's good to purge those feelings and to get them all out. It's very cathartic. You could speak to someone about it. There are plenty of people out there, plenty of spiritualists, myself included, who would speak to someone for free just to talk about how you're feeling. A lot of us, we have services that are available as well. If you want something that's um, more detailed or more customized to you, so whether that's a reading, astrological chart, etc. My services are on my Facebook page. But as far as just someone to talk to, because a lot of times we just want someone to just hear us. We want to be heard. We want someone to listen. I'm available for that. Just because I have been there before when I felt like no one, not that no one cared, I felt like no one would be interested in hearing what I'm dealing with because I'm sure everybody's dealing with their own thing. That was my way of thinking that, like, what's the point in bothering someone else with my situation when I'm sure they have their own situation? So then I would keep it all inside. It's not healthy. It's literally not healthy. You will harm your body in holding things within you. And I've done that for years, just dealing with my own inner demons and childhood trauma. I have been there. So I'll discuss that in some future videos, but just know that you're not alone, okay? You're never alone. Even when you're in your darkest hour and you look around and there's no one there, you're still not alone. Call out to your spirit guides. Call out to the ancestors. They are there. They're waiting. They're waiting to commune with you. So just know that as well. And if you have questions about tapping into that through meditation or any other ways, feel free to reach out to me and I can answer any questions about that as well. Okay. Um, then that's another thing. My advice is free. So definitely ask any questions that you have, and I would love to help. So the last card is the Four of Cups. I'll cover myself. Okay. So the Four of Cups, this one now, cups do represent emotions. So this one specifically is about a matter of the heart. And the Four of Cups, that's someone who, what I like about what the author did for this one is she has the person who's sitting there, she's wearing a sweatshirt that says over it. So, Four of Cups, like this, you are truly over your situation. You're over feeling how you feel. You're over um, being upset. You're over just having to kind of wallow in this, sense of doom and despair with regard to your situation. I've been there before too. I truly have. I truly have. And I know that there were times that I hated crying again. I hated having a reason to cry again. I hated how sensitive and emotional I was. I used to journal about that. I would pray about that and ask, why was I created like this? To be so sensitive and to be um, such an empath and um, just to feel so much. I wished I wouldn't feel so much. I kept up a rough, tough exterior, but inside I was crying. And then when I would be alone, I would cry. And I hated that part of me. I hated that about myself. And now I love it. I embrace it. I embody it. It makes me who I am. And it's just something that I want you to know that you're not alone in feeling like that. So it's okay. You're okay. Just how you are. You were uniquely and divinely created. Okay, so just know that as well. So, with regard to this reading, as I'm starting to get long winded, I'm looking at my time. Like I said, this is about a matter of the heart, and I'm here to tell you, you will move on. You will get through the situation, not over it. You will get through the situation. You will feel better on the other side. Like I said, that card on the bottom, this King of Pentacles. So this is saying that um, in order for you to be the master of the work that you want to go into, your craft, whether it's a product that you create or whether it's a service that you have that you give to others, lend to others for commerce. In order to master that work that you have within you, um, excuse me, it will involve you getting through this. I feel like the two work hand in hand. Part of it would be that while you are working towards mastering that work, it will become therapeutic for you as far as your healing goes emotionally, doing the work for whatever product or service you have. You will find yourself feeling better emotionally. Okay, so that's the message that I have today. I love you. I truly do spiritually. Um, I want to connect more. I want to just speak more specifically to the ladies and just let you know that you're not alone in what you're dealing with. Um, and not just from a general sense, like, oh, yeah, we've all been there, but I remember what it feels like. I remember clearly, just as if it was yesterday, some of the trauma that I've dealt with from childhood, as well as the trauma that I've dealt with in relationships over the past 20 years, off and on. Um, it You never forget it. I'll be honest and say that you never forget how it made you feel. You don't. What you do is you build a stronger resolve, and the emotions that you had connected to what you went through, that is what dissipates over time. So your mind, you'll never forget it. You will remember it. But as far as how it makes you feel, you won't cry for your old self anymore. You won't mourn the time that you lost or the time that you feel you squandered in certain situations. You won't, because you'll recognize that it was all to build you up to the person that you are today. And for you who is going through the situation now, it will build you up to the person that you have yet to become. Okay? And I look forward to seeing you shine and seeing you thrive, seeing you do well with life, do well in your spirit. Okay? So that's the message that I have today. Be blessed. Ashe. This is Queen Elle, and I will be in touch with you very soon. Okay? Take care.